All right, folks, you know what time it is. For those in the morning day trading room right now, if you're here live, I haven't found any good day trades to take. We've been kind of perusing the market, looking at overall stuff, but it is that time to bring on a real-life trader, interview them, and talk with them. We have a very special guest today for numerous reasons. First and foremost, this is the first lady that we're going to be interviewing. And secondly, it's also, if my recollection serves me right, this is the first resident of Canada. So there's going to be all kinds of questions we're going to get asked Claire. So Clare Baukham, welcome. Are you able to hear me okay?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Oh, yeah. Crystal clear. So nice. Good. So good. And I also, me and Claire had planned this for about a month and a half, 2 months ago, because we thought it would be cute for me and her to talk on Valentine's Day. So, Claire, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it.
Am I your first lady, actually?
Yeah, you're the first one that I've gotten a chance to interview, at least. Recently, I should say. When I started doing like full-on scheduled interviews, I've interviewed a few other traders, Sarah Potter and Jane, Airplane Jane on Twitter, and a few other people. But I've started doing them every week. Yeah, you're the first.
Well, that's cool. I'm glad to be here with all of you guys. Markets for me are, I don't know, they're kind of flat. I don't get to watch them like you guys do, but yeah, not a lot going on today for us. So,
Claire, you're gonna have to tell everyone exactly what it is that you do because it's exciting. You're actually a professional, legit trader. Give us some info. Who are you? What do you do?
Okay, I don't call myself a trader. We do technically do trades in people's portfolios. So what I am is I'm more of a large scale wealth manager and financial planner. So when I first started trading, I'll give you kind of my little quick background story. When I first started trading, which was actually with Jeremy Newsom. So this is the guy who taught me to be the beast that I am. To be honest, I had a lot of people. I was a good trader, I guess. So I had a lot of people throwing a lot of large sums of money at me, 200K, 500, a million, a couple million. And I was like, sure, I can trade that for you. So I in Canada, I was like, okay, well, how can I do that? So I looked into whether I needed licenses or not. And obviously you do. I think you guys need like a series 5, 6, 7 kind of thing. We need different licenses up here. So of course, I started looking into that. How can I start this hedge fund? I already have a ton of money being thrown at me. And so I thought, okay, I'll just go to this other firm, which was not the firm I'm with now. And I'll just get my licenses and kind of use them for that and the hours that I need and then start a hedge fund. So being traders, you guys may or may not know this movie Boiler Room. Jeremy, I know you do.
Oh, yeah.
But that place was like Boiler Room. It was brutal. Like I didn't have Ben Affleck or anything there, which would have been cool, or Vin Diesel. But they were literally like, I won't swear on here, but it was like, don't pitch the lady. That's not what they say in the movie. But and I was like, as you may or may not know, I am a lady, so I just didn't like it. I didn't like the way they were. I wanted more information about what they were selling. So I got into their financial planning firm. So to be honest, I was like, how does an RSP work? What is it? What's a tax-free savings account? I just, like, you guys have your 401k. I didn't get it. So listen, I love selling. I can't sell if I don't know what the product is. So
sure.
The branch manager was a little bit of a dweeb. So I left there and actually came here. I'm with Investors Group now. And you know what? I actually met the top guy of the company. He manages about 300 million now. And he mentored me for the last 4 or 5 years. He's now retired. So I think just once I started doing this, it was such a larger scale. And a lot of hedge funds, especially in Canada, they just don't make it. So I just thought, you know what, this guy was making like $4 or $5 million a year. And I'm like, okay, well, let's do stepping stones. Let's make $4 or $5 million a year, and then we'll get to the hedge fund kind of thing. Right. So I'm here. My mentor's retired. With my partner, we manage, just under $100 million. So it's good. It's busy. So
Yeah, beautiful. Well, congrats. That's awesome, Claire. I'm glad you got to the one mark. That's amazing.
not quite. We're just under, so we'll get there.
Yeah, by the end of the year.
Yeah, maybe actually. We have a couple of acquisitions of other advisors that we're doing. So I don't know if any of you guys work with a planner or anything like that. It's a strange industry to be in. You guys are on the kind of cooler, the sexier side, being the trading side. I don't know. In the States, I know you guys probably have the same problem. In Canada, we definitely do. Whether you're affluent or not, people just aren't doing the right thing with their money. There's so much consumer debt right now. So it's more a fight with people to whether, honestly, I deal with a lot of people who have 4, 5, 10 million bucks and they have so much debt. It's just, anyway, so it's an interesting time. Yeah.
Huh. Man. So, I mean, tell us a little bit about, just for us, dumb Americans, fill us in on what is an RRSP and how does that work for Canadian traders and students?
Yeah, first of all, we're the nice people, as you know, so we don't think you guys are dumb. We like you guys. Okay. We're not super excited about your president, but that's okay. We're all not sure about like his hair and his tan.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. But okay, so for anyone, I don't know the rules of your 401k. I think it's like an RRSP, which is a registered retirement savings plan. So what's that meant? That's meant to do is, say you make 100 grand a year at your job or at trading or whatever. If you throw 10 grand into your RSP, now you're going to only be taxed on 90 grand, right? So that you get an automatic deduction off of your income taxes for that. A tax-free savings account is literally just that. If you guys any of you are in Canada, oh my gosh, use your TFSA to trade. I have a lot of clients who have, a couple $1 million with me or $1.5 million or whatever with me. I manage it. It's one of those slow and steady manage. I do stocks, ETFs, mutual funds, nice slow climb. And I let them manage. Notice I said let them, very controlling. I let them manage their tax-free savings account with virtual brokers, Questrade, Interactive Brokers, any of those, even if they're using their bank discount brokerage, because any growth you guys make on your stocks, it's not taxable in your tax-free savings account. So, and I don't think, Jeremy, do you guys have something like that there?
Well, so here's my question to you is, are you able to pull it out and still not be taxed?
Oh yeah, totally.
Shoot. So no, we don't have anything like that. There's a certain age, but you can grow money in a tax-free or tax shelter like an IRA or different type of Roth or whatever, but you can't take that money out until you're 55.
Oh man, that's like a pension. Yeah, for us. Okay. Oh, that sucks. Okay. Yeah, someone just wrote Roth, so I get that.
Yeah. So you can take out the investments, just not the gain. So it's interesting the way it works, but it's not. That's the thing I mentioned to Canadians a lot, traders who live in Canada. Is that's a huge bonus. Like that's an awesome plus.
Totally. The other thing is, you guys could totally trade in your RSP here, and it defers tax. Like you never pay tax on it until you take it out. The problem that I have with the RSP is I don't tend to have people build huge RSPs. I have a couple clients who literally have $1 million in their RSP. Here's the problem with that. Why did we plan? I mean, they just became my client. So I unfortunately, or fortunately didn't build them to $1 million in their RSP. Why? Because that's fully taxable. Why did you not build yourself some lifestyle money, right? So if you're building money in your tax-free savings account or a non-registered, which a lot of you is like a savings account, non-registered account. Even in your non-registered account in Canada, there's a tax preference, right? So why did you build $1 million in your RSP? Like, geez, amazing that you have that. But if you have $1 million in your RSP, you are forced in your first year, which is at the end of the year you turn 71, to take, I think it's like 7.38%. So you have to take like 73 grand fully taxable. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're really only going to pocket with like our highest tax bracket's like 52 or 53% or something like that. So at 70, you're probably going to keep about 45,000 in your pocket. It's terrible. Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. Gee.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, so how did Canada react to the whole? I mean, the TSX and the markets and everything sold off pretty hard last 2 weeks. How was everything in business for that on those weeks?
To be honest, I am a totally outside the box advisor. I have clients calling me and they're so well trained because when they sign to be my client, I say, listen, we're going to do something called the flex plan. I want you to go down the hall to another advisor, even in my own office, go to the bank, ask them if when the markets drop, are you going to be positioned to capitalize? You guys traders, you guys know what this is all about. This is the trader in me is when the markets drop, I don't care if the markets, you get, Jeremy, you train me on this. I don't care if they go up, down, sideways. People ask me this all, Claire, at the gym every morning. Hey, Claire, what about the markets are this or that? I don't care what they do. If they go up, great. You don't need me when they go up. You need me when they go down, because if they go down, you need me to make trades, right? And
That's such a
capitalize.
good quote. I've never heard that quote. Ah, I'm stealing that, Claire. I love it.
What quote do you
You
like?
don't need me when it goes up. You need me when it goes down. That's good. That's good.
You think about it. I use it every day to people. It's great. It goes up. You make 8, 9. I have accounts 9.5% right now. Beautiful. Great. It's because we can't short, right? This is a
Yeah.
long bias firm. So, the traders can short way up at head office, but I'm not a background trader. I'm on the ground selling with retail clients, right? So I can't short, which is unfortunate because you see opportunities, but when the markets go down, what's a way? And you guys, if you guys are long bias traders, this is something you can do as well. Is I'm sure you're doing your trades with Jeremy every day, but I'm sure that you have a couple swing trades that you're holding on to, right? Make sure you always have a little portion in cash. This is what I always do. Even if I have a full mutual fund portfolio right now, I have honestly 20 to 40% in cash. So let the markets drop. I'm going to take that cash that maybe that went down, $100 or something like that, right?
Mhm.
Now I'm going to take it and I'm going to buy into all those equities that are super cheap. If gas prices ever go down, which is rare these days, but if gas prices go down, what do you guys do? You go and you line up at the gas pumps, right? You fill up. Why? Because it's cheap, right? What if you could take a barrel, buy gas, and then next week when it goes back up, you can sell it to everyone? You'd be a genius, right? You'd be rich.
Sure.
So
Sure.
people
So
aren't, yep.
the stocks that you're buying, Claire, are these, big question, are you buying U.S. stocks? Are you buying stocks on the TSX? What companies are you looking for? What index? You mentioned ETFs earlier. What kind of ETFs are you looking for?
That's amazing. Yeah, I can't. I'm a Canadian. I love the TSX. Well, of course, I love the TSX. The TSX is it's sleeping.
Yeah.
It's bank stocks and a little bit of natural resource coming out of Alberta, things like that, oil, whatever. It's a very, very sleepy world up here. When I trade, which I do trade as well on the side for myself, I don't trade the TSX unless we're getting into cannabis stocks, of course.
Sure.
However, so what am I trading? I've got a lot of US, loving the US. I actually pulled out of US a little bit, kind of in the fall of last year.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Euro. We'll get into emerging markets. I think emerging markets still, again, you remember this is long, right? We're a long-term
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Totally.
So Canada, yeah, I'm in because it's at such a discount right now, but that's a long-term buy for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to do inverse ETFs?
Yeah, I see that a question there. No, my broker. So I have a broker on my team who we need an IROC license to get in there and actually do stock trades for clients. We won't do inverse ETFs. What are they buying? You know what? There were some hot ones last year. I had a couple clients interested, but the problem is when you get to the level of millions of dollars, which I'm sure some of you guys in the room have, these people, for us, they don't really want to get into a lot of volatility.
Sure.
Right? Because
Sure.
hello, they work their butts off for that money. It's the last thing they want to see is it dip down, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend And also my husband actually he does a little bit of work with exempt market. So I'm versed in that area, but we'd have to take that offline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Understand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in regards to your analysis of getting into whatever you're getting into, what do you also, I know you're on the ground floor, as you mentioned, you're making a lot of the sales and you're contacting the actual clients. Do you have the ability to tell a trader or a trading floor what to buy, what to sell? Do they tell you? Do you make recommendations? Kind of give us like a general idea of how you take your clients' money and what you do with it.
Oh, I love taking money. Sorry, just that to Robert. Yeah, you're right. If you have that kind of money, you don't really need the leverage. However, I always get my clients I try to always get my clients into some kind of leverage because, my goodness, why not use? Here's the thing, Jeremy. Let me answer your question in a second. If you're
Sure.
going to take $500, this is for you guys too. Actually, it's good for you. If you guys are going to take $500 a month and you're going to save it away every month at the bank, bam, 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 right? I don't care what kind of account it goes into. Why are you not leveraging that? And I don't mean a margin leverage. I mean a non-margin call leverage where take the same $500 a month, borrow $100,000 and invest that and just let it grow, right? It's going to cost you to borrow $100,000, $500 or just roughly, right? So I use a lot of that kind of leverage, especially for my really wealthy clients, because you get a tax deduction as well. You know, on your mortgages, I don't know if you guys might be able, can you guys write off the interest on your mortgages?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can't, right? So for a wealthy person, other than shoving money in their RSP, there's no way for them to save money on their income tax other than regular tax deductions with just like boring or a leverage. So sorry, Jeremy, back to your question. Refresh me. What did you ask me?
So for as far as like your traders, you mentioned you have you're the person who really gets and contacts the clients and speaks with the clients directly and kind of give them a plan of what to do with their finances. Who pulls the trigger on the trades, and are you able to kind of tell or guide your traders into what they should be buying or selling?
Yeah, the traders at head office know they're those are the fund managers. Actually, I don't really call them traders; they're fund managers. So they're managing, billions up there, right? So my team can actually execute on trades. So I have 3 employees and my business partner. So I'll sit down with the client and say I'm doing a rebalance because the market's dropped. I'll go through everything, and I think, I've kind of been deemed the resident portfolio specialist or resident trader because of my background. My partner will bring me in to see my partner's been in the business 27 years, but he'll bring me in and say, okay, Claire wants to have a look at the portfolio. So I'm the one who gets to make the decisions as to what gets moved where, right? Mm-hmm. And then my girls will execute. I have 3 ladies who work for us and they'll execute on the trades for me.
Lady power. Nice. Lady power.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, that's very cool.
Yeah.
You mentioned leverage earlier. I want to clarify what you meant. And this is an intriguing question. So you said if you're going to put in $500 a month into like a savings account, and you said something about $100,000 and just pay the interest on the $100,000 and use this money, where would you get that $100,000? Is that do you guys have home equity line of credits in Canada, or where would that leverage come from?
Yeah, we totally do. I wouldn't use a HELOC, a home equity line of credit necessarily. It's really cool. We can do this thing where you borrow the $100,000 from us because we're massive, right? We have our own internal bank. Okay. And we'll, usually you have to secure it on your house or something, right? But we don't do that. We secure it on the stock certificates or on the mutual fund certificates themselves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a good loophole. It's not a loophole. It's, a legitimate strategy, but it's a cool thing that not a lot of advisors do because they're afraid of it. I used to be, or I still am, a trader, so nothing scares me like losing $1,000 in 2 seconds on Google. Bam,
Yeah, exactly. there it goes. See ya.
Yeah, people come in and tell me the accounts are down. I'm like, oh, that's nothing.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's a very interesting concept. I did not know that existed.
Hmm.
Tell me about how cross-border investing in like the U.S. dollar compared to the Canadian dollar, and the Canadian dollar being softer against the U.S. dollar. Do you have any problems with that, or what would your advice be to any clients of yours that want to invest in U.S. markets? They have to convert to Canadian dollars and U.S. dollars to buy. Or what would your thoughts on that be?
Yeah, we don't. I do because I do a lot of U.S. Usually a lot of U.S. funds. So because like funds meaning like say a mutual fund, for example, um, there isn't a lot of issue with it because they're buying in their Canadian account into the U.S. Right. So the only difference though is you guys, if you have a dividend paying stock, if we buy a U.S. dividend paying stock, we get if we have a Canadian dividend paying stock, we get a huge tax preference on it, right? Whereas if we buy a U.S. dividend paying stock, we have no tax, or overseas, we have no tax preference. It's fully taxable. It's like interest for us is fully taxable, right? So yeah, so we don't have a lot. It's not really an issue. I find as well, just on that, is I don't have the same issues as a lot of other advisors. I don't know. I think it's my mentor's training. A lot of people will, we charge fees, right? Our fees are anywhere from, depending on if you're higher net worth, a percent or less to, 2.25 or something like that, depending, right?
Okay.
I don't have that issue. A lot of advisors, the fees and how do I talk to clients about the fees? Well, listen, two things. First of all, I always say to the client, do you want the cheapest financial planner on the block working for you? Like, this is your money. This is your millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Do you really want someone cheap who's at the bank, who's making, 30 grand a year kind of thing? With all due respect to anyone who works at the bank, they don't necessarily, and if any of you work at the bank and you know what you're doing, that's awesome. Please keep pushing that, because here, not a lot of people know what they're doing at the bank, right? I actually go in there for fun sometimes just to see, I have to, it's my job. So yeah. I don't really get a lot of the same arguments from clients. So, which is cool.
Okay, right on. I'm gonna throw you a curveball because I had this come up earlier today, and you mentioned the word mentor a lot, and you said that I taught you a lot, but you also taught me tons. Let's make sure to throw that out there, that you are an amazingly smart person. You know your stuff too. So you've been my mentor as much as I've been yours. So let's make sure that's on record. But
that's cool.
You kind of mentioned you were working with someone. My biggest question is, how do you overcome that money hurdle mentally from going to managing, $1 million to $100 million? Like that, do numbers even matter at that point? How do you overcome that hump? Because my real question is, Claire, a lot of traders, they can trade virtually, no problem, right? They make money, they're profitable, and as soon as they go into real money, they screw up. What is that mental connection there as it relates from virtual money to real money? And how do you get over trading those big numbers? Because in the trading world, sometimes you lose $2,000-3,000. That's a big deal. But if you're dealing with $100 million account, $2,000-3,000 is like a transaction cost.
That's such a good question. I actually have here to make a note to talk to you guys about psychology.
No way.
So
perfect.
Bam, you hit it, buddy. I love it. Man, part of my background is I used to actually be a professional actor. So if any of you have done any acting, you know that that's heavy on psychology. So another mentor of mine, and the reason I use so many mentors, just as a quick side note, is because if someone knows something, if you're the smartest person in the room, get out. Don't position yourself around people who are, like dumber than you, because you're never going to learn anything. You're never going to grow. Right. So, my other mentor, one of my acting mentors, my director, who's still a big part of my life, he taught me psychology inside out and backwards. So my own breaking down myself and breaking down clients. So when, you're sitting with someone, you can kind of see where they're going. Right. So, so how do you get over that hurdle? This is huge for you guys too. You got to think about something. You got to think about the ROI on your entire portfolio, right? So if you guys have, say, $1 million, and you have one piece that you're trading, I don't know, whatever. I see Wix that you guys have, or Apple. Oh, Apple's my sweetheart. So you're trading Apple, and you're right. You got 10 grand going with Apple, and you lose $2,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you, that, I remember when I was trading, that would hit me so hard, I would literally be done trading for the day. But you have to think about this, the overall ROI in your portfolio, or the overall loss in your portfolio, it's just so small, right?
Sure.
So now for me, managing the amount of money that we manage, it's such a weird, when we were learning to trade, it was so weird. Everyone, all of you guys, all the teachers would be like, you have to turn that off, turn the emotions off, turn the emotions off. I'm not going to tell you to turn the emotions off. I'm a Virgo. I'm super emotional, but you really have to change your mind. You cannot be thinking of, oh my gosh, I had a client in here who has like 700 grand with me yesterday, and he was in all losses in the portfolio. So imagine that. Imagine your client comes in, they have almost $1 million with you, and they're like, wow, Claire, everything's down. Wow. You're just like, what would you guys say? What would you say to those people? We'd be like, oh, you can't hesitate. You have to have the confidence in yourself, and you have to have the confidence and move beyond that trade. You have to change the way you see those losses. I saw those, and I'm not kidding. I've really, really changed. I see red in the market. People freak in a long bias firm. Oh my God, the market's the market. And I'm like, thank God. Yeah. First of all, everyone is super cocky out there, and they're like, I can do this. And once the shoe shine boy knows about, what's what's being traded, sure, it's a bad situation, Sure. So I literally spent a long time looking at those losses. My stomach used to turn with those losses. Oh my God, how am I going to explain that to the clients? And now when they come in, I say, okay, good. Unfortunately, there aren't more losses for us to capitalize on. Unfortunately, there's small losses here. So if you guys are trading, I remember trading, and the problem for me was I had to make an income, right? Every day from trading. And my husband would go to work and he was a landscaper at the time, and go and do that. And I had to make income. And if I wasn't making income, I would freeze up, right?
Yep.
So you guys need to start having a portfolio that is growing. If you're retired, have a portfolio is growing on the side that you can take income from with someone like me, another money manager that you trust. That's good. And then trade your account and trade it like a beast, but have patience. And do not look at those losses. If you're depending solely on that income, you're going to start to freak yourself out.
Yeah, right? It's definitely harder.
You need to, Jeremy's a beast with this too. And I'm not sure, Jeremy, if you talk to these guys about this, but you have, we always talk about real estate and income from real estate and things like that as well, right? Yeah. So you have multiple sources of income, then you're golden. You won't feel that $2,000 loss. You might laugh at yourself and be like, wow, idiot, way to go. Nice trade, Sure. But that's what I do with myself. But so yeah, very long answer, but yes, I've, it's a different thing. It's figures. It's figures on a computer. It's an opportunity when you see losses.
Totally.
Now at this level.
Man, it's very good to think about, because you're mentioning that if you lose, you literally have an opportunity to take something away from that, and you can either focus on the loss as loss, or you can try to determine, okay, I lost. How do I mentally appropriate that in my mind? Am I going to be down about it, or do I see it as an opportunity to, okay, I can get even a better price later if I get stopped out, or I can put that cash on to something that's winning.
Totally. Listen, on the side, personally, I'm not allowed to direct people to, go make this trade in their stock portfolio or this or that. Jeremy's the guy for that for sure. But I obviously have my own trading portfolio. We got into cannabis. We started playing with it in 2015. I don't know, the thousands of % of gains. It's incredible. But the other thing was when I used to day trade SLV. I loved SLV because you can buy a ton of options. for super cheap. So you could
Yep.
really leverage into that. And then like a penny move you'd be good. You'd be done for the day, right? With these, a lot of cannabis stocks obviously start out as a penny stock, right? I wish that there's no insider information for me. It would be, I'd be a billionaire right now, which would be amazing. But with those kinds of stocks, that's the patience game. That's that long-term swing trade for sure. So I don't know, you guys are if you're into day trades, that's good, but maybe you should also have a couple of those longer term swing trades that and then go and look at the money. Sometimes I open my own personal account here and I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I'm not doing that bad,
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're gonna make me ask questions about cannabis and Bitcoin, Claire.
Yeah.
It's coming. So which cannabis stocks did you get into, if you're allowed to tell us? And if not, just let us know, like, how did you do your research and why did you pick cannabis? What was your take on the market in general? Because there's a lot of Canadians that are in this. Is it because of the legalities that were coming around the corner or what?
That I'm not allowed to talk about it, you mean?
No. Like, why you invested in that particular industry?
Oh, yeah. Because, our prime minister, it was like your president, right? Our Justin Trudeau he was going to legalize. So we found that out a couple of years ago. So it was just like a take advantage of the situation kind of thing. Oddly, this guy, Frank here, I see that you wrote ACB. I think for us, ACB is adjusted cost base. Is that the same for you guys?
Yeah, but I did pull up Aurora Cannabis.
Oh, that's a chart. That's a chart. Yeah. Cool. That's funny, actually. Yeah. Because oddly, you're asking me about our cannabis portfolio. The reason ACB actually adjusted cost base was flagged for me is my husband is actually the one who works on that portfolio. So, and his initials are ACB, Andrew Charles Baukham, right? So,
So he had to buy some of this, then I'm assuming. He had to, at least a little bit.
Yeah, well, yeah, like what, into cannabis? Yeah, I mean, Andrew's actually, he's a fantastic trader. If you want to interview a research guy, oh my gosh, you should get him on here one day.
Okay.
He just, I think if you're passionate about an industry, it's the funny thing, right? Is we were always taught that you don't have to know about the stock that you're trading. It doesn't matter as long as it has a high beta and you can, volume and so on and so on. But if you're getting into something longer term and you want to get into fundamentals, I hate fundamentals. I think they're really boring. Andrew's, that analyst guy. I'm the, sit in front of the people person. So
makes sense.
Yeah, totally. Well, it's a yin and yang. I mean, come on, right? I don't know how he puts up with me, but
first of all, I'll tell Andrew I miss him. We need to get on that boat together. That was a good plan that we came up with. I want to make that happen.
Oh, for sure. By the way, this person mentioned that he's a former landscaper. What kind of landscaper? That's amazing. Listen, I don't know if you guys know this, but we have a serial killer up here right now who was a landscaper who murdered 5 people.
No way!
Really? And hang on, it gets better, man. I'm going to put this out there to you guys right now. This is terrible. So he's murdered 5 people. It was guys, right? So 3 of the guys he murdered, he was gay, which is whatever. He chopped them up and he put them in a planter box. The other 2, you guys look it up. Bruce MacArthur is his name. They're like comparing it to like huge. Oh, there it is.
Bruce, what are you talking? Did they get caught?
You are, yeah, you are. Here, hang on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, he got caught. So the funny thing about this is, speaking of, there he is, bam.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but hang on. It gets better. No, not cannabis growing. That'd be amazing. He does look like Santa Claus. This guy, get this. My parents used to own a lawnmower shop. Uh-huh. This guy was a really good customer of mine.
Whoa.
Just to top it off. So Andrew's wasn't that kind of landscaper. He wasn't a cannabis landscaper either. I wish he was. We'd be loaded.
Whoa.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt you. I had to tell you.
I like it. I like going off on tangents. I will put Andrew on the list because I like him. I miss him anyway. I would love to hear his thoughts. What was the Bitcoin craze like up in Canada? Was it nuts?
Oh man, it was irritating. You know why? Everyone wanted to get in again once the shoe shine boy knew. No
Yeah.
offense to shoe shine boys, but once the street sweeper knew about it, everyone was like, "Gotta get into Bitcoin." I'm like, "Guys, it's over."
Yeah.
Right? So I actually had an advisor I was trying to acquire, and he was insane about Bitcoin. He said his son was trading Bitcoin full time.
Wow.
And then I asked him about it. He couldn't explain it to me. So
Sure.
yeah, it was crazy, but it's died down, so that's nice.
Okay. Okay. Did Toronto real estate ever die down, or is it still going bananas?
No, Toronto real estate did die down, which is fantastic because again, people were getting a little bit crazy. We died down in the summer of last year, summer fall of last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bananas.
Yeah, my house. I'm not sure how what you guys. I live in a place like I live just outside of Toronto in a town called Burlington. So I live downtown Burlington. It's like chic and expensive and blah blah blah. So we're right on Lake Ontario, actually. So one of the Great Lakes. So my house, I bought it at 274,000, and it is now worth like 800 grand.
Wow.
Yeah, and I bought it in 2011.
Yeah, well, good for you.
It's awesome for
Yeah,
sure. It's a good way to use your equity, right, on some other
that's
things.
right.
But man, yeah, it went crazy here. It was stupid. And by
Man.
the way, I don't have a big house. I have a 2-bed, 1-bath bungalow. Like I literally I don't have time. I was going to buy a place on the lake. I just didn't have time because I was so busy here. Like it's
That
not a
is,
big house.
yeah. Whoa. Yeah, that's a quick, steep increase in price.
Yeah. Have you guys started to increase yet or no?
Yeah, certain pockets of the states.
Yeah.
Certain like cool cities, Austin, Seattle,
Cool.
Nashville, San Francisco's always been bananas, but it's slowly starting to pick up for sure down here.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever have any clients in the U.S., Claire, or do you only work with clients in Canada?
No, I have a lot of, well, not a lot. I have some dual citizen clients.
Okay.
They're paying for taxes, man. But
Oh, I'm
I also
sure.
work very much with a cross-border accountant. So awesome guy. So he hooks me up with a lot of guys. I have a guy right now who sold a business in the States, and now he's, I guess, also a dual resident. So he's in Canada, and he's got, I don't know what he sold the place for. He's a referral to me, so I haven't met with
Mm,
him yet. But get a lot of that kind of stuff, right?
gotcha. I'm
Yeah.
gonna throw you another curveball, something that we didn't.
Cool.
We had no idea we were going to talk about. You working with your mentor. Yeah, I'm sure you learned a lot about selling. I get people who email me pretty frequently saying, "Hey, Jerry, I don't have that much money to invest. I only have like $3,000 or $2,000, and I'm looking at investing it. What should I do? How should I make more money?" And one of my biggest advice is anyone who's looking to increase their income, even outside of trading, because you have to have, as Claire was mentioning earlier, those multiple streams of income. I tell them learn to sell and then go sell something. That is the fastest way to cash. Go sell something and learn to sell it really well.
Yeah.
What would be some of your best sales tips or techniques or tricks? You're mentioning about the psychology earlier and the psychology of your clients. So how could someone use sales to better their lives in just general conversations, or how valuable do you think that skill really is?
I meet so many people who, "Oh, I hate selling. Oh, I don't want to sell. Yeah, I know I don't like sales." Guess what, buddy? Every single one of you, I don't care if you're retired and you sit at home, every single one of you is involved in sales. Guess why? Do you ever have to interact with another human being? Ever? Go to the grocery store. You got to see the doctor. Your mom calls you. You have to call your kid. You're in sales. Everyone is always in sales. There is this epidemic. I'm so passionate about this. There's this epidemic of people out there, pandemic, epidemic, whatever,
Yeah.
of people out there who have no social skills. Sales are a social skill.
Mm.
Like I love sales more than anything. For the longest time, I thought I would be, an actor and this and that, whatever. And when I was trading at home, I missed it so much. Just being in front of people and convincing them to do the right thing. Here's my number one tip to becoming a beast of a salesperson. Believe in what you're selling. I have to tell you, there are days that I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Seriously.
Yeah, of course.
And if I don't believe, I will reschedule my clients for that day. Because if there's a sale to be made, I'm not making it. Nope, no way. People in this office, my branch manager here, he's like, Claire, your personality is like so much different and so much better than any advisor I've ever met. He says, you know why? You're confident. And it's a real thing. It's not cocky. I don't think I'm the best in the world at all. I'm actually, I have a lot of self-deprecating jokes that I tell people, like I don't know why my husband puts up with me kind of thing. Yeah. It's not that. I believe in what I do. I truly believe that for me, my product is a service that I'm selling, right? I believe that no one out there, I look out my window right now, I'm looking over Lake Ontario and a bunch of like mansion houses. None of those people excuse my language, know what the hell they're doing with their money.
Yeah. Oh, can you still hear me, Claire? I think you cut out for a second.
Can you hear me? Hear me?
Yep, I can hear now. I lost at the, they don't know what they're doing with their money.
Yeah, these people, they make $600,000 a year between the two of them. They don't know what they're doing. If you truly believe that, and listen, you might come across someone who knows. Like I come across people who do know, and I'm like, great, but guess what? I know more. Not to be cocky, I just know more, right? Sure. Oh, I think your internet's cutting out again now. I think the feds are on you. you might be too close to that window. Maybe. Oh my God, there's a sniper on me right now.
No, but the thing is, if you're a professional, Claire, as you're mentioning, I mean, that's the thing is, everyone's a professional in their own right. If you go to a mechanic and they're a professional at what they do, I mean, you have to trust them, right? That's what they work on. They have put in thousands of hours of this. And if you put in thousands of hours of learning the markets and understanding rates and taxes and movements and portfolio management and compounding interest and keeping people in money longer, that's probably one of the hardest parts of being a fund manager, is just keeping people in their money because they want to pull out and take profits. It's like, nope, keep holding, because that compounding interest will slowly take effect, and you got to leave it in there in order for that to occur.
Yeah. For you guys, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. For you guys who, honestly, you guys have such an opportunity in the States. If you get onto this guy, Grant Cardone, I don't make any money. I don't know him. I listen to him. He's a wicked sales guy. You guys have this opportunity where you have 360 million people to choose from to sell stuff to. You guys can do those multi-level marketing businesses, and you guys can make a killing. I have a client. You guys can still hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I have a client who sells Arbonne, and this girl makes over $100,000, and she's a mother of 4. She's a killer, and all she does is sell this like Avon, like makeup, right?
Sure.
Yeah, Grant's a beast.
Grant's my boy. I read almost every one of his books. Phenomenal.
Awesome.
Phenomenal. Totally.
So yes, 100%, guys. Get a couple sources of income, but really focus on one and make it really work for you. Try to automate it. Also check out the 4-hour work week. That's really good. If you're looking for ideas, email me. I get them all the time. I'm an entrepreneur. Email me. I'll tell you, hey, why don't you sell this? What about this? What about this? I don't make any money. I'm not allowed to make any money from anything external. I can't get referral fees. It's just part of my license.
Yeah.
So believe, but you got to believe it. If it's something that you're like, this is kind of a crappy product, don't sell it. You got to believe in what you're doing. You got to believe in you and what you're selling. And the other thing is, you have to have the discipline. So many people just don't. They kind of wake up. They kind of half-ass do something, right? You need to. You got to have that discipline. You got to get up. You got to really believe. You got to have a goal. These are all things you guys have heard. Like, this is nothing new. It's not, there's no big, huge revelation here. And that's the thing too, is there's no we have something called the bullpen where all the rookies hang out. I'm actually kind of still technically a rookie. I'm just into my 5th year at this firm. So I see these rookies and they come up to me and they want to be, the cocky guy and try to talk the talk and whatever. These guys, they sit in the back of the bullpen and they're not in touch with anyone. Like, guess what, guys? The sales are outside. They're not in here in the office. I'm luckily, I've been blessed. I have my own office and my whole team is here and, I can shut my door and do my work. But these guys, when I was in the bullpen, it was blood, man. You gotta hustle. So hustle, believe in what you do, and have some damn discipline,
That's right. One, two other things, maybe even more. You said people, they could email you. What's your email address, Claire?
Oh, sure. Thank you, Amy, by the way. I love you too, girl. CLARE. Oh, do you want me to type it?
No, I got it. CLARE, okay.
Wait, how did you just spell my name?
CLARE?
Okay. Baukham.
All right.
BAUKHAM. Yeah, BAM at Investors Group. InvestorsGroup.com.
All right, we'll make this a little bit bigger.
Awesome. Yeah, guys, feel free anytime. Reach out to me on any of my social media or whatever as well. It's totally cool. I'll give you guys whatever I can give you. I'll help you as much as I can help you. If I can't because I'm busy, it might take me a while, but check me out. Follow me on social media. I do a lot of, I don't do a lot of financial posts because it's kind of boring. I'll do some, but I do a lot of motivational stuff.
I love it. Claire, how do you get more ladies involved in the industry, the financial market industry?
How do we?
Yeah.
Oh.
What's your goal? What's your plans on that? Because I know you said it earlier. You had three of your people putting in orders. You got the girls doing it.
I don't know, man. I'm weird. You have a couple. I know. I have an all-female team except for my partner. Can you hear me still? I get a notification.
Over. I like it.
You what?
I said you're taking over. I like it. That's fantastic.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing, though, too, is you're sitting with a couple, right? And I don't know. It just I watch my partner. He's amazing. He's literally one of the best planners that I know in the industry. He's such a brain. But I'm sitting there and, you have a husband and a wife, and come on, guys, that the wife is she's the boss. She's not the boss. You guys are the boss, obviously, but she's the boss as well, right? You get behind closed doors and she's like, honey, I'll kiss you on the lips if you make dinner. You're going to do the dinner. You know what I mean? I don't know. Because that's off the top of my head. But
yeah,
you guys, the way I figure is men, you guys, the way my partner says it, he's like, Claire, men would still be living in caves if it weren't for women. Everything that was invented was for women. The toaster to help you guys toast faster, the laundry, whatever, the laundry machine. I don't even do my own laundry. My husband does it. The laundry to do your laundry, all these things were to help women do things better. You guys, come on, you are trying to make your partner or your ladies, whatever, life better, right? Or maybe you work together as a team, and that's cool too. But as a female, when I'm sitting in front of a couple, first of all, if there are any females in here and you guys are trying to sell, you gotta win her first. Because if you're hot and she doesn't like you, you're done. Even if you're you're done. So win the woman, then win the guy. But in the end of it, there's a softer approach here, right? My partner, the lady wants to talk about decorating and the grandkids and, lady things. And guys can't do that. Guys are very, well, maybe you can, I don't know. But guys are very, that this is it. This is the numbers, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So I was blessed growing up with 2 older brothers and a, strong dad. I grew up in a shop, so I kind of feel like, Jeremy, I think you understand this about me. I kind of like a man in a female's body in a sense. So I don't know. How do I get more women in this industry? This is going to be terrible. I love women. I have my power babes here, my boss babes. But it's really hard for a woman to be in this industry. It's so male dominated.
Yeah.
My branch manager, Jeff, says to me, Claire, you are a total anomaly because women, they usually come in this industry and they just kind of slink down and they don't want to speak up. And you have to, as a female, yeah, you need a strong woman who's not going to be cocky. She's not going to be like trashy. You know, you got to, excuse my language, you have to put your boobs away. You know, you can't sell like, I knew a girl here, she was just failing so badly. You got a, man, short skirts, super hot girl, really attractive, boobs out, lots of legs. Girl, you go into a husband and wife and you try to sell the wife, you're gone. You're done.
Yeah.
You know?
Very, man, that's so true though.
So I don't know. I try. I'm always looking for good women, and I'll add them to my team in a flash. But yeah, I'm looking. You know.
Fascinating. Well, hey, there you go. That's one way. Is go work for Clare.
Yeah, totally.
I love it, man. That was, believe it or not, that's right at an hour, Clare. Can you imagine? That went by.
Oh, see, we're amazing. We're amazing. If I can close with one more piece of advice for you guys, just as traders.
Yeah.
And I think as people, you know, trying to make a little bit of side hustle income, right? Don't listen to the noise. You guys, with your trading, with your sales, your business, your work, if you go to work every day or whatever, and at night, have a plan. Guys, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have goals, I am always revising mine. I feel a little bit psycho because I do it so often. If you don't have that plan and you don't see it written down, plan, meaning by the end of this year, I want to make 50 grand on my own, not with trading, or 100 grand. That, and there's a lot of noise. Put your blinders on and just surround yourself with people who get that. And will let you do your work. Otherwise, listen, I could get pulled literally as soon as I open my door after this, I'm going to get pulled in 20 different directions. Don't listen to the noise. Don't listen to the naysayers. Do your thing. Just believe in yourself. Reach out to me if you want anything. And thank you guys so much for listening to me go on and on for an hour.
No, it was our absolute pleasure, Clare Baukham from Investors Group. Thank you so much for being here. I've missed you. It's been too long. When you come back down to Nashville, let me know. But
absolutely.
You are absolutely incredible. Thank you. Have a brilliant rest of your day.
Happy Valentine's, guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Happy Valentine's Day.
Bye.
Okay, bye. And again, that was Clare Baukham with Investors Group up in Toronto, Canada. Just a pure, fiery, passionate financial planner. And that's one of the reasons I brought her on, is because I want more passion and excitement in the financial markets. Why does everyone have to be boring? Why do we have to talk about basis points and percentages and what the market's going to do in 20 years and, you know, blah, blah, blah. You got to get fiery. You got to be excited. This is a phenomenal opportunity for everyone all around the world. I love it. So, folks from around the world, thanks so much for tuning in to your weekly interview and also just the morning day trading room. Markets are going gangbusters right now, up 1% and some change. Fantastic stuff. Thanks so much, everyone. I truly appreciate it. Go have a great rest of your day. I'll be back for Energy Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. And again, if you need Clare's email, it's in the chat pane. And if you're watching the recording, you missed it earlier, feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to provide that. She's also on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and, you know, the whole social media thing. Folks from around the world, you're amazing. Keep being incredible. Keep enriching lives. And until next time, love life, live life, and trade it. You all rock. Bye-bye.